Hi, this is your host, and you're watching this channel. The mystery of the Nazca lines, giant drawings on the ground in Peru that can only be seen from the sky. Why were they made? Who made them? What do they mean? Join me as we fly over these amazing lines, and I try to answer some of these questions. This is the Palpa region of Peru, just south of the capital city of Lima. It is here, where thousands of years ago an ancient civilization called the Nazca people lived. The Nazca people flourished between the years 100 BC and 800 AD. Although some historians believe their origins may go back to 500 BC, the Nazca people are known today for two things. Their elaborate tombs carved into the sides of hills and these giant lines and figures etched into the desert ground. There are three main types of designs. First, there are hundreds of lines ranging from 4 to 250 meters in length that run in straight lines across the desert or sometimes in geometric shapes, like a T or a Y. There are also many animal figures such as monkeys, dogs, lizards, spiders, scorpions, and hummingbirds, as well as some human figures. Finally, there are a series of geometric designs, which include triangles, trapezoids, circles, and spirals. The largest of these designs measures 190 feet across and is the third largest geoglyph in the world. All of these designs were created by removing the reddish-brown pebbles on the surface of the desert to reveal the white soil beneath. From the air, these designs can be as wide as 300 feet and are visible from up to 25 miles away. But what's truly mind-boggling is that these designs are invisible from the ground. In fact, even the people who live near here have no idea how big they are until they take a small plane ride or hot air balloon trip to see them from above. So why did the Nazca people make these designs, and why are they so secretive? The first Europeans to see these designs were the Spanish conquistadors in the early 16th century. They had no idea how they had been created and believed that they must be the work of the devil himself. This was because these designs were clearly visible from the sky but could not be seen at all from the ground. Today, we still don't know exactly how the Nazca people managed to create these designs without modern equipment, like heavy machinery or cranes. But we do have some theories. It is believed that the Nazca people would have first planned out the design on the ground using string and wooden stakes, much like surveyors do today. Then they would have used simple tools such as wooden hammers and chisels to remove the stones. Large areas of stones would have been removed systematically using a basic understanding of geometry and astronomy. Then, after the stones were removed, the next step was to carefully fill in the remaining holes with smaller stones and sand. The finished design would have looked like a shallow depression in the ground filled with small stones and dirt. After all of the designs were finished, the Nazca people would then bury any tools they used, so that the designs would remain hidden. But why would they go through all of this effort to hide these designs? Well, one theory is that these designs were part of a religious ceremony. We know that the Nazca people worshipped a variety of gods, including the creator god, the fertility goddess, and the god of the underworld. It is possible that these gods were represented by the various animals and geometric shapes found in the designs. Some researchers believe that the lines were used as ceremonial roads connecting different sacred sites. Others believe that the lines and figures were used as boundaries to keep evil spirits at bay. Another theory is that the designs were used for astronomical purposes. Many of the lines and figures are aligned with important stars and constellations. For example, the Gato Blanco figure is aligned with the Milky Way and the Orion constellation. It is possible that the Nazca people used these alignments to predict astronomical events, such as eclipses and solstices. Some researchers believe that the Nazca people saw these designs as messages to the gods, while others believe that the designs themselves were the message. What's interesting is that none of the Nazca designs seem to depict people. Instead, they show a variety of animals and abstract shapes. This has led some researchers to believe that the Nazca people did not want to represent humans in these designs, possibly because they feared that this would bring about a curse. This is because the Nazca people believed that humans were mortal and therefore imperfect. They did not want to anger the gods by depicting humans in their designs. In recent years, researchers have begun to use satellite images to study the Nazca lines. This has allowed them to see the designs from a whole new perspective and has revealed many new details. For example, researchers have discovered that there are many more designs than previously thought. In fact, there are now over 13,000 identified, and new ones are being discovered all the time. Researchers are now also able to measure the designs with much greater accuracy, which has helped them to better understand how they were created. One of the most amazing discoveries made by satellite imaging is the sheer size of some of the designs. As I mentioned earlier, the largest design is a hummingbird that is 190 feet across. But there are also many other large designs, including a monkey that is 130 feet across, a spider that is 120 feet across, and a dog that is 150 feet across. These are truly massive designs, and they would have taken a lot of time and effort to create. The age of these designs is also remarkable. Some researchers believe that they may be as old as 2,000 years. If this is true, then they predate many of the other famous ancient sites in South America, such as Machu Picchu, and the Nazca pyramids. This means that the Nazca people were highly skilled engineers and mathematicians long before other civilizations in the region even developed these skills. But perhaps the most mysterious aspect of the Nazca lines is the reason why they were created. We simply do you want to know why the Nazca people went to all of the trouble to create these designs. The Nazca people left no written records, and all of their artwork is either on the walls of their tombs or on their pottery. None of this artwork gives us any clues as to the meaning of the designs. Some researchers believe that the designs were created as a form of communication with the gods. However, if this is true, it's hard to understand why the Nazca people did not include any human figures in their designs. Humans are typically at the center of most religions, and it's unusual for them to be excluded in this way. Other researchers believe that the designs were created for astronomical purposes. However, there is no evidence that the Nazca people were interested in astronomy, or that they had any knowledge of the stars and constellations. It's also hard to imagine why they would go to such great lengths to hide their designs if they were meant to be used for astronomical purposes. One thing is certain, though the Nazca people put a lot of time, effort, and care into creating these designs, they are truly some of the most impressive feats of ancient engineering, and they continue to baffle scientists and historians today. The Nazca lines are one of the most mysterious archaeological sites in the world, and while we may never know exactly why they were created, we can appreciate the beauty and complexity of these ancient designs. If you ever have the chance to see them for yourself, I highly recommend it. It really is an experience like no other. So what do you think? Why do you think the Nazca people created these lines and hid them from the world? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.